Have you ever felt it? That quiet shift in someone's energy? Like something changed, but no one said a word? They still show up, they still smile, they still talk like everything's normal, but deep down, something feels off. You can't explain it, you can't prove it, but you feel it. And that feeling is not random, because betrayal doesn't begin with a moment, it begins with patterns, small changes, subtle behaviors, things most people overlook until it's too late. See, people don't just wake up one day and betray you. They drift first, they disconnect, they start moving differently, thinking differently, acting differently. And if you're paying attention, the signs are always there, not loud, not obvious, but consistent. And the difference between getting hurt and staying protected is whether you notice those patterns early or ignore them. In this video, we're breaking down 6 powerful warning signs people show right before they betray you, so you can read between the lines, trust what you feel, and protect your peace before it's too late. The first sign, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's subtle. They start acting different, not enough for you to call it out immediately, but just enough for you to feel it. Their energy shifts. Conversations feel shorter. Their tone feels colder. Their presence feels inconsistent. One day, they're fully there, engaged, laughing, connected. And the next, it's like you're talking to a completely different person, distant, detached, unreachable. And when you finally ask, what's going on? They look you in the eye and say, nothing. But you know better, because silence can lie, but energy doesn't. Here's the truth most people ignore. People don't just change for no reason. There's always something behind it. A shift in priorities, a shift in intentions, or a shift in loyalty. And when someone is moving differently behind your back, they can't fully show up the same way in front of you. Their mind is elsewhere. Their focus is divided, and slowly, without saying a word, they start pulling away before they ever let go. Before betrayal shows up in a big way, it starts small, almost invisible. They begin hiding little things, not major secrets at first, just small details that don't quite add up. A story that feels incomplete, a moment they leave out, a truth that sounds edited, little lies, half answers, convenient silence, and suddenly the person who used to be open with you becomes guarded, more private, more careful, more selective about what they share. But let's be clear, this isn't about healthy privacy. This is about concealment. Because when someone has nothing to hide, they don't feel the need to filter everything they say. Here's what most people fail to realize. Betrayal doesn't happen overnight. It's built slowly, choice by choice, lie by lie, silence by silence. Every small thing they hide creates distance. Every detail they withhold breaks trust quietly. So when someone starts hiding what they once shared freely, don't ignore it. Because secrecy doesn't just protect the truth. Sometimes it prepares the way for betrayal. You ask a simple question, nothing intense, nothing accusatory, just something normal, something honest. And suddenly, their entire energy changes. They get defensive, short, irritated, maybe even aggressive. Not because you said anything wrong, but because you touched something they didn't want exposed. Because here's the truth. When someone has nothing to hide, they don't feel attacked by simple questions. They answer, they explain, they stay calm. But when there's guilt involved, even the smallest question can feel like pressure, like a spotlight they weren't ready for. So instead of responding with clarity, They respond with deflection. Why are you asking that? Don't you trust me? You're overthinking again. And just like that, the focus shifts. Now you're not asking a question anymore. You're defending yourself, your intentions, your trust, your character. And that's how manipulation works. It redirects attention away from the truth and places it on you. But don't confuse confusion for innocence, because real communication brings clarity. Deflection only creates more doubt. This one is dangerous because it doesn't just hurt you, it confuses you. Before the betrayal even happens, they start shifting the blame. Suddenly, things that don't make sense start getting pinned on you. They create tension, then act like you caused it. They change their behavior, then criticize yours. And slowly, the focus moves away from what they're doing to what you're doing wrong. They point out your flaws. They bring up your past. They exaggerate small mistakes, not to fix anything, but to justify themselves. Because if they can convince themselves that you're the problem, then they don't have to feel guilty for what they're about to do. So they rewrite the story, they twist the narrative, they bend reality, and over time, you start second-guessing yourself, questioning your actions, doubting your intentions. But don't lose sight of this truth. Healthy people take responsibility. Manipulative people shift it, because the ones who are preparing to betray you will often try to make it feel like Vow deserved it. Respect is always the first thing to fade. Not love, not communication, respect. Because the moment someone starts disconnecting internally, they stop valuing what matters to you. At first it's small. They ignore how you feel. They dismiss your concerns. They brush off things that used to matter. Then it grows. They cross boundaries you've clearly set. They do things they know hurt you and act like it's not a big deal. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. And that's the key, because mistakes happen once. Disrespect happens consistently. This isn't confusion. This isn't misunderstanding. This is choice. Because when someone respects you, they protect your boundaries. They care about your comfort. They adjust their actions. But when that respect disappears, so does the effort. And once someone stops respecting you, hurting you becomes easier. Ignoring you becomes normal. And betraying you becomes possible. So if someone keeps crossing lines, you've already made clear, don't explain it away. That's not a mistake. That's a warning sign you should never ignore. And this one might be the most powerful sign of all, your intuition. Before the proof shows up, before the truth comes out, before anything is confirmed, you feel it. That gut feeling, that quiet tension in your chest, that voice in the back of your mind saying, something isn't right. You can't explain it logically. You don't have solid evidence. But the feeling won't go away. And yet, most people ignore it. They overthink it. They talk themselves out of it. They choose comfort over clarity. They say, maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. So they give chances. They stay silent. They wait until the truth finally shows up and confirms what they felt all along. Here's the reality. Your intuition isn't guessing. It's observing patterns your conscious mind hasn't fully processed yet. Energy shifts, behavior changes, subtle inconsistencies. It picks up on all of it. So if something feels off, don't ignore it just to keep the peace. Pause, pay attention, ask questions, because your intuition doesn't exist to confuse you. It exists to protect you. Now let's be real for a moment. One sign by itself doesn't always mean betrayal. People have bad days, they get stressed, they go through things you may not see. But this isn't about one moment, it's about patterns. Because when you start noticing multiple signs, the distance, the secrecy, the defensiveness, the blame, and it keeps happening again and again, that's no longer coincidence. That's behavior. That's a pattern revealing intent. And patterns don't lie. Here's what most people don't realize. Betrayal is rarely sudden. It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It builds quietly, behind the scenes, slowly, through repeated choices, silently, through shifting loyalty, until one day, everything makes sense. And by then, it's already done. That's when people look back and say, I saw the signs. I just ignored them. Not because they didn't notice, but because they didn't want to believe it. Don't let comfort blind you to truth. Don't ignore what's consistent just because it's inconvenient. See it early and protect yourself before it's too late. So the next time you feel that shift, that subtle change in energy, that quiet discomfort you can't explain, don't ignore it. Don't brush it off just to avoid conflict. Don't explain it away just to keep things comfortable. And don't silence your instincts just to keep someone in your life. Because peace built on confusion isn't peace at all. Your peace, your clarity, your self-respect is worth more than any relationship rooted in dishonesty. Start paying attention to actions, not just words. Start trusting patterns, not excuses. Start respecting what you feel, not what you're told to believe, because people can say anything, but their behavior will always reveal the truth. And remember this, not everyone who smiles with you is standing with you. Some people clap in your face and betray you behind your back. So move smarter, protect your energy, and choose yourself every single time. If this message hit you, drop aware in the comments. And if you're ready to level up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, make sure you subscribe, because this is only the beginning of how you move different.